Masechet Sanhedrin Daf Yod Bet Amud Aleph, 12 lines down. Shemana. In Ma'abrin and Rosh Hashanah, the Rosh Hashanah, you cannot add the month of a leap year before Rosh Hashanah starts. And if you do that, it doesn't work. But in cases of emergency, because let's say Betin won't be able to meet later, or there's a rule coming out from the government that will stop them later on. You could do right after Rosh Hashanah. But you could only do it during Adar. You don't add a month in Tishrei or Sivan. You have to add during Adar. So yes, you're doing it earlier, but that extra month won't come until Adar like usual. The Gemara says, okay, one second. Anyways, that's true. They sent the message to Rava, a coded message to avoid people catching them. Zugba Mereket Utfaso Nesher. A pair of rabbis were coming from Reket, and an eagle captured it, means they were captured by Persian soldiers. But then and they had things made from luz. What's that? Techelet. It's techelet strings. First you see it. And Hashem allowed them to go peacefully. And officers from Nachshon, Yani Yehuda, tried to appoint another officer, which is referring to a month. They wanted to make a new month. They wanted to make it leap year. But the Persian government allowed them to. But they gathered. They managed to make that month in the month of Av, where Aaron Cohen died. So we see that they were able to do the new month before Rosh Hashanah started, and therefore we see that even in a case of emergency, you don't have to wait for Rosh Hashanah. The Gemara says no, Hashuvi, they could calculate it. Galila Megali, they don't reveal it afterward. The Gemara says, my mashma, why in the code the Nitziv Lishna Diarachu? They use the word Nitziv as a month. The Gemara says the Ktiv Hashuv Lishna Moshni Asar Nitziv Makol Yisrael V'Kilkalu Tamelech Ve'Beto Chodesh Bashana. We see that the word Nitziv is referring to monthly officers. He said another officer over the land. Why would you have 13? The Gemara says, either one officer was a supervising officer or the other 12. That 13th officer was for the 13th month in cases that they needed it for the leap year. Number 9. In Ma'abrina the Shana, we don't add a month into the year. Not back to back year, not for 1 year to the next. And not for 3 years in a row. Marbi Shimon, Maaseh Rabbi Akiva was the story of Rabbi Akiva Havush B'Betei Asurim, he was stuck in prison. V'iber Shalosh Shanim Zu Achar Zu, they made 3 consecutive years, leap years. Amrumullah, they told him, Misham Raya, that's a proof. Bet Din Yashuv Kavu Ahad Ahad Bizmana. They didn't make it 3 straight years. They just calculated when the next 3 leap years would happen over the next X amount of years. Okay, Turbaram. In Abrin Shana, you don't add the extra month. Lo b'shivit, not during the year of Shemitah, because that's causing people to lose another month of business. V'lo mos not the year after Shemitah, because that will take away the Korban HaOmer later. It'll stop people from being able to eat. Therefore, what months years do we usually do? Erev Shvi'it, the year before Shemitah. Shel Bet Rabban Gamliel, Moshe Shvi'it, and Rabban Gamliel, however, would do the end of the year after Shemitah. The Gemara says, committed to the Hanik Tanai, Ma'achok between Rabban Gamliel and Tana Kama is Titania. In Yerek Mihutz Laaretz, you cannot bring outside vegetables / grain from outside Eretz Israel into Eretz Israel. But Rabbatinu Heitiru b'Chachmim allowed it. So we see from here that Tanakama said you can't bring grain inside, and therefore that's why we don't want you to have the Shemitah the year after a leap year the year after Shemitah. And Rabban Gamliel said you're able to import. Therefore, after Shemitah, we want to make it me'obad. You want to add a month into the year? No problem. So when the extra grain, we'll be able to import it. My benai, why do they argue on that? The machlok is whether or not you're worried if there's tum'ah in the dirt that comes with the produce. And therefore, Tanakh holds that dirt will spread tum'ah in Eretz Yisrael. Rabban Gamliel does not. Hachamim don't care. Okay, so we're done. In Ma'abadin Tashanam Ibnei Tum'ah, you don't add an extra month into the year because of tum'ah for the Korban Pesach. Right, so let's say most people, I'll say, be careful with my words because it make a difference how many. If people are tameh for Pesach, you don't want them to stay tameh for Pesach for the Korban Pesach. So you want to add another month of Adar so they're tahor. Where says we don't do that. Yes, you do. The story of the Hizkiah, he added another month because of Tum'ah. Then he prayed to Hashem to have mercy because he did something wrong. We're going to explain what's going on. Tetiv. Right, people were not tahor. يأخذوا the Pesach below hakatuv, they did it incorrectly. يبقى يحزكيو عليهم the more Hashem hatov يخابر بعد. Okay, Rabbi Shimon Omer says مبنية تماء يبروها if he added the month because تماء better that does work. So what's the why is he allowed to do? Why did he pray for himself? Because because you're only supposed to add another adar. The hu iber Nisan ben Nisan, he added another month of Nisan during the month of Nisan. Whoa. Rabbi Shimon ben Yehuda, Rabbi Shimon, because he told Bnei Israel to have Pesach Sheni. All right, so he says, no, different. Why did he pray for Hezekiah pray for himself? Is because he didn't extend it at all. Rather, he said, just bring Korban Pesach on the Pesach Sheni. However, they were eligible to bring the Pesach during the original Pesach because majority of them were Tamed. Majority of them Tamed are able to bring it. More. That says you add a month for Tumah. We see from here that Yehuda holds that Tumah is pushed off. Yani we're not worried about Tumah anymore when majority of the community is Tameh. But Tanabah says, the tzitz and the Kohen Gadol, when a Qurban became Tameh, whether or not it was on him, the Qurban still works. Divrei Bishmon. Says no. Although if the tzitz is on the forehead of the Kohen Gadol and the Qurban became Tameh, then it works. But if it's not, then it doesn't work. Marla Bishmon just says, but Kohen Gadol that's what are you talking about? How can you say that the tzitz on his head makes a difference if we know that on Yom Kippur he would not wear it? It doesn't work. It's on his head and it still makes the korban acceptable. The Gemara says, no. Yom Kippur is different because korbanot that's brought for Chag on Yom Kippur is permitted when the community is around. So we see that he uses different lashon. There's hutra and hutcha. There's a concept that something is pushed off or something that's allowed. So he said that Korban Pesach initially is pushed off. Something that's allowed, however, he said in the second case by Yom Kippur. So what's the story? When majority is tameh, is it hutra, is it mutar, or it's just pushed off? Differences, for example, like in Hatzalah, a guy who's allowed to drive on Shabbat, is he allowed to turn on the radio? Is he allowed to just play with the windows? Can he he's allowed to do whatever he wants? No, it's pushed off. It's not mutar. Okay. But one second. According to you, who asked the question, I have a question on you. Answer a question with a question. Very Jewish. That says that you do add a month for Tumah. That also said, he prayed for himself. So he says that if he allowed to add it for Tumah, why did he pray for himself? Again, knocking the question back onto him. Missing words. We explain it as follows. In we don't add a month because of Tumah. They may be but if you did do it for that reason, no better that works. If you don't it does not work because it's not a good enough reason to add another month. But right there, that also said that Hezekiah prayed for himself. Now, according to Tanakama, that it works, the Brata has a problem. Rabbi Shimon holds that if it goes, then it works. And Tanakama is the exact same opinion as Tanakama. What is the difference? The one says no. The machloket is why are they not allowed to do it in the first place? Tanakama says you shouldn't do it. If you did it already, b'di'avad it works. Rabbi Shimon says no, don't do it, no problem. It says and you don't do it l'chatchila for tuma. Rabbi Shimon you can. According to him, why did Hezekiah pray for himself if he did anything wrong? Because he holds that because the guy Hezekiah rather did Nisan as the extra month and not Adar. Okay. Amar more. He says that you don't add another Adar. He added another Nisan. Hezekiah didn't learn the pasuk of this month shall be for you. Nisan. Only one Nisan, not two Nisans. How can he add another Nisan? Where it says Ta'ab de Shmuel made machloket about what Shmuel held. Amar Shmuel holds. In Ma'abrin Tashna b'Yom Shoshim Shadar, you don't add another month into the 30th day of Adar. Because technically that could be the first day of Nisan. And he doesn't hold that, and therefore he extended on the 30th day of Adar, which happened to be new month of Nisan, and that's why it became two Nisans. Okay, Rabbi Shimon. The reason why he asked for forgiveness is because he said earlier, because he told Bnei Israel to have Pesach Sheni. What's the case? Why did he say that? And then why did he realize he has to do teshuvah. There was a case where Bnei Israel were divided practically equally, half tameh, half tahor. Most men were tameh, but the women increased the ratio of tahor, people who were tahor, to be the majority, and he counted the women. He says so that women have a chiyuv in Korban Pesach, and that's why he counted them as part of the tahor. That's why the minority of Tamen, he told them, go use Pesach Sheni. Then he realized, really, no, Korban Pesach for women is optional. They have a lehu to me'im bruba, and therefore it's as if you had a Tamen majority. And therefore we don't push off people for Pesach Sheni. Okay, that's why he realized when he made that mistake. He's like, oh, technically we should not have been pushed off, and therefore he asked for forgiveness. Gufa, we said earlier, we don't add a month in the 30th day of Adar because that becomes part of Nisan. What if he did it? Doesn't count. It does not count as Adar Shani. What if he did make it Kadosh? Let's say they said, this is Adar Shani. Amarava, Batela Ibor canceled. It counts as Adar Shani. Let's check. From Pesach to Purim is 30 days. And we know from Purim and on, we start learning Halachot Pesach. The time, it says, we start learning Halachot Pesach 30 days prior. Rashba Gomer, 2 weeks earlier. Now, if Rosh Chodesh arrived after Purim, we can still postpone Nisan for another month. As we said earlier, people are going to start eating. People are going to actually think that the first time is Pesach, the first Nisan's, the upcoming month is Pesach. Keep it as Pesach, and in the next month they won't think it's Pesach, and therefore they'll start eating chametz on that day. They think they'll be Adar Sheni. They think Adar Sheni is regular day. Meanwhile, there was an Adar Sheni, and therefore the third month after that is actually Pesach. Mali says no. People don't realize that a leap year because it's a matter of calculation. Amri, they said, oh, Hushbana, because they said why would they understand it? The reason why they didn't make it a leap year until now is because they didn't do the calculation yet. But once they know that the rabbis did the calculation, it's leap year, they'll wait another month for Pesach and they won't eat chametz on Pesach.